بدان، پاینده مانی تو جاودان. ای دشمن ار تو سنگ خاره ای من آهنم، جان من فدای خاک پاک میهنم. مهر تو چون شد پیشم، دور از تو نیست اندیشم. در راه تو که ارزشی دارد این جان من، پاینده باد خاک ایران من. سنگ روحت در گوهر است، خاک دشتت بهتر از سر است. مهرت از دل کی برون کنم، برگویی مهر تو چون کنم. تا گردش جهان و دور آسمان به پا، نور ایزدی همیشه رهنمای ما. مهر تو چون شد پیشم، دور از تو نیست اندیشم. در راه تو که ارزشی دارد این جان من، پاینده باد خاک ایران من.
سلام و درود منو بپذیرید و میدونید که امروز برای چی اینجا حضور دارید. برای شخصیتی حضور داریم که بعد از 2500 سال تک تک ما بهش افتخار میکنیم، نه به خاطر اینکه بخواهیم غلو بکنیم، به خاطر اسناد و مدارکی که وجود داره، به خاطر اینکه رئیس جمهور آمریکا توماس جفرسون میگوید که از کوروش به خاطر حکمرانی و به خاطر تدوین قانون اساسی آمریکا استفاده کرده، نه از انگلیس و فرانسه اون دوره. به هر حال من سخن رو کوتاه میکنم. از جناب دکتر خسرو مهرفر دعوت میکنم تشریف بیارن، چون سخنرانا فرصت ندارن و بایستی هرچه سریعتر. به هر حال
سپاسگزارم. درود و سپاس بر همه شما عزیزان و greetings to all. A few words in Persian language first. یادی میکنم از مهندس امینی سام که طرح و اندیشه این تندیس به این زیبایی رو بیش از 2 دهه پیش بنا گذاشت و به همت مهندس بهنام آبادیان بله از ساکستون اینداستریال با مدیریت شعله خانم شمس شهباز و حسن خان خیاطباشی با همکاری تیمی از ایرانی هایی که از هر باور مذهبی، از هر طیفی در ظرف چند ماه گذشته با برنامه‌ریزی بسیار دقیق باعث شدن که این برنامه امروز اجرا بشه و همینطور به خصوص از مرکز فرهنگی زرتشتیان کالیفرنیا در این مکان مقدس که اجازه دادن با افتخار اولین تندیس این مرد بزرگ رو بنا کنیم. So I'm going to speak in English with your permission, and I apologize. I think most of you know English language, if not all. And this is being broadcast live, and it's going to go YouTube forever. So next generations of Iranians in diaspora who know English, most of them, all of them, will benefit from this program. The first speaker is the Honorable Bob Blumenfield for District 3 of the City of Los Angeles. Please join me to welcome Councilman Bob Blumenfield on the stage.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Hello, everybody. So I'm Bob Blumenfield. I represent you here in Tarzana. I also represent Woodland Hills, Reseda, Winnetka, Canoga Park. So I'm on the LA City Council, but I represent the West San Fernando Valley. And I can't tell you, I am so honored to be here and to be included in this ceremony. And I want to express my deep thanks to the Zoroastrian Cultural Center of Los Angeles for this incredible invitation, to the philanthropist, Behnam, Abadian, and the CYRUS Heritage Committee. It's a great honor to be with you here to celebrate the unveiling of the statue of Cyrus the Great, کوروش, King of Kings, the Philosopher King. As you all here know, Cyrus liberated many minority communities under his rule and gave them the option to return to their ancestral homelands or stay in Persia to enjoy religious freedom. That's how Cyrus's subjects were treated 2,500 years ago throughout his empire from Central Asia to Africa. In 539 BC, when Cyrus conquered Babylonia, he freed 40,000 Jews who had been in captivity for 70 years. He not only gave them the option of returning to Jerusalem and rebuilding their destroyed temple, but promised and delivered funding for their temple as well. The accounts of this historic endeavor, they're reflected in the Torah, they're reflected in Cyrus's cylinder. You all know it, the barrel-shaped clay chronicle, which is now housed in the British Museum. And it describes the benevolent policies of Cyrus in restoring captives to their homeland along with their religious treasures. David Ben-Gurion, who was the first Israeli prime minister, said Cyrus displayed a spirit of charity toward his adversaries and a unique tolerance toward all religions. Although a source of inspiration for European and American philosophers, the state model created by Cyrus has never actually been fully realized in our modern times. But many have said that Cyrus's vision of government based on diverse cultures and not having a single religion dominate was really, in many ways, the foundation of this country here, the United States. Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, is said to have been inspired by Cyrus's principles of tolerance and inclusion. In our current, very tumultuous times, we all should draw inspiration and the powerful lessons from Cyrus's enduring legacy, and we would do well to remember his treatment of minority communities, as even today those people are often marginalized and not treated with basic dignity and respect. I know how important a figure Cyrus is to the Iranian community. Last year, a very talented artist by the name of Davud Rostai donated an impressive painting to the city of Los Angeles, and I had worked with him on that donation, and that was done during the Nowruz celebration. Cyrus, who we're obviously celebrating with this statute, was not only a great statesman and military leader, but a great mystic too. He was a true advocate for and the embodiment of the Zoroastrian motto, Pendar inik, good thoughts, Goftar inik, good words, Kerdar inik, good deeds. May the statute that is located here, which is in the heart of my council district, serve as a beacon of all who see it. And I know all of you here who come to the center will see it, but I love the fact that you can see it right there from the corner. It's right along the orange line. So everybody is going to see it. We have 30,000 riders a day on that orange line that are going to go by and are going to be able to see that statute. And I hope that it inspires people, that they look at that. And maybe if they don't know the history, that they just pull out their phone and they Google it, and then they see the inspiration that can be felt from 2,500 years ago when you see that statue, and you can be inspired even today. So I am just thrilled, and I want to again thank you all for including me in the unveiling. I also was pleased to work with the organizer of the event and also with Ken Feruzman and Harry Husheinmeyer. They're with the Department of Transportation. Obviously, as a city council member, I work closely with all the departments, but they were particularly helpful in making all the arrangements, so I wanted to make sure I thank them as well for all the logistics. And, lastly, what I always say whenever I have a microphone, if you have any city issues, whatever they are, contact me, contact my office. Gila Ross on my staff is over here. Some of you know her. She's on my team. Contact her. We're here to serve you. And that can be anything. It could be a pothole. It could be issues with the police. Whatever it is, we want to make sure that we are your advocates with the city of Los Angeles. Now, before I leave the stage, I wanted to have 3 acknowledgments for folks who really helped make this happen. And I wanted so that it's not just me, Bob Blumenfield, your council member, but it's the city of Los Angeles. So I wanted to call up and give a certificate of special recognition. First, to Mr. Abadian, who commissioned the statue. Behnam, could you please accept this small token of appreciation for, obviously, for helping sponsor this whole event, but for all that you do in the community and for providing this wonderful statue.
It is my honor.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll take a photo here. One second. Second, I'd like to ask Mrs. Mitra Zartuti, please come on up. I have a certificate for the Zoroastrian Center for you to receive. And while she's coming up, I'll tell you what it says. It says, on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, I'd like to thank the Zoroastrian Cultural Center of Los Angeles for your dedication to the ideal of tolerance. Your contribution to the committee is much appreciated, and today's artistic installation is sure to inspire many generations to come. So please accept this small token of appreciation.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And finally, I'd like to ask Mrs. Sholeh Shahbaz, please, to come on up. And this is to receive the certificate on behalf of the CYRUS Heritage Committee. It says something similar. I want to thank you for your dedication to the ideal of tolerance. Your contribution to the community is much appreciated. It goes on from there, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Again, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this wonderful celebration.
حالا که با گفتار نیک کانسلمن بلومنفیلد آشنا شدید، میخوام یک کمی با کردار نیک کانسلمن هم آشنا بشید. Now that you heard the good words of the Councilman Blumenfield, I would like you to hear about his good deeds. And I was debating to say it first or last. I thought maybe he comes on the stage first, and then you see him, his good words, and then I let you know his achievements for this district. Council member Bob Blumenfield was elected to the Los Angeles City Council in March 2013. He represents the 3rd Council District, which spans the northwest portion of Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley, including the communities of Conoga Park, Reseda, Tarzana, Winnetka, and Woodland Hills. Bob is focused on serving the San Fernando Valley's day-to-day needs for city services, as well as facilitating the long-term job and economic growth that will help ensure the vitality of local neighborhoods and the city as a whole. Public safety, emergency preparedness, beautification, and traffic reduction are some of the key quality of life issues that Bob fights for in this district. At City Hall, his policy priorities include crafting the city budget to maximize public dollars, transforming the city's technology infrastructure to more effectively manage resources and provide services, and growing and improving the city's physical and environmental infrastructure to make LA a safe, clean, green, and friendly place for people and businesses. Bob is also committed to social justice, equality, and opportunity for all Angelenos. A perfect choice for today. Prior to his election to the City Council, Bob served in the California State Assembly from 2008 to 2013, working for all of the San Fernando Valley communities he continues to represent. He was the first Democratic freshman assembly member to ever serve as the chair of the Budget Committee. During his 4-year tenure as chair, he led the state from the brink of economic insolvency to structural balance and surplus. He delivered his last 3 budgets on time and balance, hardly and rarely heard of, a feat that hadn't been achieved during the prior 25 years. In addition, he radically changed the budget process to make it more transparent and accountable. Capital Weekly called Bob a shining light with a reassuring amount of perspective that is uncommon among so many politicians. He was extraordinarily prolific and effective in the Assembly, having had over 50 bills signed into law. He is considered an environmental and consumer champion and has won numerous accolades and was named Legislator of the Year from a diversity of groups, which included Tech America, Easter Seals, New Horizon, One Generation, the California Chiropractic Association, the Los Angeles League of Conservation Voters, and Californians Against Waste. Planned Parenthood gave him both their prestigious Champion for Choice Award and their Advocate for Access Award. From 1989 to 1996, he worked in Washington, D.C. as a staff person to Senator Bill Bradley, Congressman Howard Bremen, and as a staff designee to the House Budget Committee. He later worked as Director of Government Affairs for the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, and then as District Director to Congressman Berman, whom we're going to hear from next in the San Fernando Valley. In addition, he has served on numerous nonprofit boards, including the Anti-Defamation League, Children's Express, and the LA League of Conservation Voters. Bob is a graduate of Duke University and the UCLA Anderson School of Management Business Executive Program. He lives in Woodland Hills with his wife, Kathy, and their 2 children. Thank you so much. Councilman, we are so honored to have you. Our next speaker is Miss Hannah Borison, representing the Congressman Brad Sherman of District 30. Please join me to welcome Miss Hannah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah, and I'm here on behalf of Congressman Brad Sherman. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today, but he sends his regards, and I'm very happy and honored to be here. The first thing I want to do is honor Mr. Behnam Abadian with a certificate of special congressional recognition.
Please convey my deepest gratitude and appreciation to
Of course.
Mr. Behnam.
Thank you so much. And more broadly, I think that I'd just like to say that Congressman Brad Sherman really cares deeply about protecting religious minorities abroad, and as a senior member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, he is dedicated to protecting those rights abroad. And back home in the district, he deeply appreciates the vibrancy and diversity and color that communities like the Zoroastrians contribute to the San Fernando Valley. And as a small token of appreciation, one special thing that members of Congress can do is request an American flag that has been flown over the Capitol building. And so I would like to present an American flag that has actually been flown over the U.S. Capitol. In Washington, D.C. And so I would like to present this to the Zoroastrian Cultural Center here in LA.
Hi. Thank you so much. On behalf of the CYRUS Heritage Committee, B'nai Brit Organization, Iranian American Jewish Federation, Iranian American Jewish Women's Organization, Iranian American Women's Conference, Dr. Mehfar, Hassan Khayatbashi, Bijan Khalili from Kitab Corporation, and myself from Rahovar Journal. We're proud to be in this committee and to serve the community. And thank you to Mr. Behnam Abadian for inspiring all of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. We all appreciate you coming here, and thanks a lot for this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Homi Gandhi. His brief bio, and then he will talk about Cyrus the Great, why a statue. Homi D. Gandhi is president of the Federation of Zoroastrian Association of North America, FEZANA. He was FEZANA NGO's first main representative from 2002 to 2014 to the United Nations in consultation with ECOSOC and the DPI. He co-chaired the FEZANA UN NGO subcommittees for the celebration of UNESCO declared 3,000 years anniversary of Zoroastrian culture in 2003. From 2002 to 2008, Mr. Gandhi was president of the Zoroastrian Association of Greater New York. Mr. Gandhi retired from active corporate life after working for 20 years in public accounting and for 25 years in financial service industry regulation at the New York Stock Exchange and the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. Mr. Gandhi is a member of Religious for Peace USA, Council of Presidents, and was honorary treasurer of the organization from 2009 to 2016. He is also president of the Religions for Peace International World Council. He has participated in meetings of national and international interfaith leaders prior to G8 and G20 summits, has presented papers at numerous conferences, and is active in community services. In recognition of his community services, Mr. Gandhi was awarded Temple of Understanding's Interfaith Visionary Award in 2010. He was also honored to ring the New York Stock Exchange opening bell in 2004 in recognition of his significant service to the community. The topic of Mr. Gandhi's speech is Cyrus the Great, why a statue, as I mentioned earlier. Please join me to welcome Mr. Gandhi.
Thank you, Khosrow, for a wonderful introduction. I chose this topic of Cyrus the Great, why a statue, because I found myself debating about it from my childhood, knowing who Cyrus was. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. Thank you for inviting me to speak today. I'm so incredibly pleased to stand here with you on this momentous day to celebrate the unveiling of the Cyrus the Great statue. As a Parsi Zoroastrian, I grew up learning about Cyrus the Great almost by osmosis. Almost every other boy I knew in our Parsi community in India was named Cyrus. And it was easy to realize why on that the namesake was revered as a great and good Cyrus. Why exactly he is relevant in America, I found out much later, much later, after living in the US for some years. In the early 2000s, I was approached during my tenure as president of Zoroastrian Association of Greater New York, known as ZAGNY. It's a California Zoroastrian Center's sister organization in New York, about installing a stone statue of Cyrus the Great on our property. Cost constraints prevented us from pursuing its acquisition at that time. A few years later, I saw a statue of the king in the Olympic Park in Sydney, Australia. My resolve was ignited again, but by then, the artist had stopped making those statues. Over the years, I learned more about Cyrus's connection to the American society in which we all live. On behalf of Fazana, I work with the British Museum and the Persian Heritage Foundation to showcase the Cyrus cylinder on a tour through 5 cities in the US. We organize symposiums, lectures, and so on, coinciding with each showing of the Cyrus cylinder. Americans turned out in numbers, in thousands, to view the ancient, perhaps the first declaration of human rights cast on a small clay cylinder in a language long forgotten. This language, which was used by a king whose influence on Americans' founding father is well documented. Still, I wondered how many Americans actually knew of this connection. It weighed on me that this great king, who had contributed so much to our world and to this country, was not as known, seen, or honored here as much as he should have been. Leaders at any age stand to benefit from inspiration, which plants its seeds for later manifestation and realization. America's founding fathers were inspired by Cyrus, even though they were familiar with many ancient and modern sources on ideas of governance and leadership, because his ideas and aspirations resonated with their own and their innermost beliefs, values, and conscience. Cyrus founded a stable empire that lasted for over 2 centuries and was the world's first multinational, multilingual, multicultural, multireligious, and monthly ethnic unity of states, much as the United States is today. His history, leadership style, and philosophy of government, as presented in Xenophon's Cyropaedia, influenced Alexander, Shippo, Cicero, Caesar, Machiavelli, and most relevant to us today, the views of the founding fathers of America. Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, John Adams, George Washington were all familiar with Cyropaedia. Their letters and records show how greatly this work influenced their thoughts in founding our nation. To give you some examples, America's founders saw virtue as essential for the establishment and success of the Republic. George Washington once wrote, "Without virtue and without integrity, the most brilliant accomplishments can never gain this respect, never gain the respect of the truly valuable part of mankind." Other founders constantly preached the importance of virtue in governance. The Cyropaedia has been described as a delineation of virtue as embodied in Cyrus. It implies that Cyrus governed in accordance with the principles of his Zoroastrian faith. Furthermore, Xenophon asserts that he ruled by example, humata, hukta, and huvarashta. He displayed moderation, self-control, and self-restraint in his own governance and leadership. He sought diversity in counsel, but unity in governance. Despite the freedom he offered his peers, they looked up to him for guidance. The government of the Persian Empire was secular. Cyrus granted his subjects freedom of religion. He aspired to a tolerant society. He inspired Thomas Jefferson and James Madison to introduce notions of separation of church and state and religious freedom into the fabric of American life when they drafted the American Constitution. Cyrus's Persia gave aid to other nations in freeing the Jews from captivity, returning them to their homeland. So, how could this country not have a statue of Cyrus the Great? Living here, we should remember him. A few years ago, when I attended a Cyrus Day celebration with my friend, Dr. Khosrow Merfa, I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Nick Aminisam. We got to talking, and during an intermission, Nick presented me a statue of Cyrus the Great, a mini version of what is now going to be erected here today. He explained he had done much research to create this statue to represent Cyrus the Great as he truly was. He received certification as to the authenticity of his depiction from some renowned scholars. Nick said to me, "I have done all my due diligence and satisfied myself to the best of my ability to produce the model nearest to reality. What we need today is to celebrate this great man so that we can put the face behind the symbol of the first Bill of Rights, Bill of Human Rights in human history." I heartily agree with Nick's sentiment. Regrettably, Nick passed away earlier this year, and he isn't with us today to see the vision made to see his vision made a reality by Dr. Mr. Abadian and his friends at the California Zoroastrian Center. But whenever he is, his immortal soul celebrate with us today. So I commend all my friends at California Zoroastrian Center for seeing the monument and the monumental project coming true. It means a lot to me, as I know it does to others, to see a statue of Cyrus the Great in America, and you have made it a reality of our community here. We couldn't be prouder, more grateful for your encouragement. Thank you for this gift. Hamazor, Hamashobed. May we all be united in righteousness.
Thank you, President Gandhi. Our next speaker is Dr. Farshid Delshad. Dr. Farshid Delshad, born 1972, earned his first PhD in Caucasian and Slavic Studies from Tbilisi State University in Georgia and received a PhD in Historical Comparative Linguistics from the German University of Friedrich Schiller. He also has a Master of Arts in Iranian and Semitic Philology from Iran and a second Master in German as a foreign and second language acquisition, with a minor in Indo-European linguistics. Farshid has been teaching languages and cultures of the Middle East since 1994 in Iran, Georgia, Russia, Germany, France, and Switzerland. His focus includes contrastive and historical linguistics and minority research in Islamic countries. He is currently working in Germany and in the United States as an associate scholar for languages and cultures of the Muslim world. Farshid is the author of several published chrestomathies and readers in Persian as a foreign language. The topic of Dr. Delshad's speech is Cyrus the Great, the worshipper of Marduk. Please join me to welcome Dr. Delshad.
به نام خداوند جان و خرد که از این برتر اندیشه بر نگذرد. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I would like to thank the organizers of this beautiful event and also thank you all for attending this gathering. My focus is merely on the CYRUS cylinder with three different aspects. It's a little bit unusual. My aspect is a comparative linguistic aspect within the historicity of this cylinder, and there are much talks about this topic, but this approach might give you an incentive to work and study on this, relate a little bit further. So I give first some leading information about this cylinder, and then I go to the different aspects of this object. The CYRUS cylinder, as you know, it is a barrel-shaped baked clay, which is about 10 inch and has been inscribed in Babylonia in 539 and in the ruins of Babylonia, which is now in northern Iraq. So the cylinder itself is written in Akkadian, which is a Semitic language, which I'm going to talk about that in the second chapter. So, and this is in cuneiform, about 539 BC. What is important about this barrel is actually that this this cylinder-shaped inscription, it was not an object for exhibition. This is actually a foundation building that one put in the wall of Babylonia. So it means it was not a, let's say, a looker or eye catcher for the people to look at that. So, but it's definitely is a document of statecraft. But I'm going to talk about that in more details. So this is actually an evidence of a very clear Mesopotamian culture where goes back as far as 3 millennia, where the monarchs, when they invaded a country or governed the country, new country, they inscribed, and in this inscription, they talked about the reforms that they want to do. So it means, in fact, as far as the tradition goes, actually, this cylinder goes on the same path of the cultural heritage of Mesopotamia. But what makes this cylinder particularly special for as a cultural heritage is something that I'm going to talk about in the second chapter. So in this CYRUS cylinder, CYRUS claims that I'm king of Persia, but at the same time king of Babylonia. And he worships Marduk, who is a deity and a king and a god of Babylonia. The inscription by itself has been written in Akkadian, which is a prevalent Semitic language in Babylonia, which is the today's Iraq. So it means the inscription is in a Semitic language. So it is not a comprehensive language for the Iranians or for their vassals or for the companions of Cyrus the Great. So it means it brings us to the idea if Cyrus would wanted that to eternalize his name merely within the Persians, at least he would have ordered to write the inscription at least in one of the three prevalent languages in those times, Persia. So it would be maybe Elamite, or it would be maybe Aramaic, which was the lingua franca, or maybe Persian cuneiform. But this inscription has been written particularly in a language which is not comprehensible for the Iranians. And that is interesting. It brings us to the third part of what I want to talk about. Cyrus says that by declaration of writing in a language of the local, he talks, I'm one of you. And that's interesting. I appreciate your culture, I appreciate your language, I appreciate your deities, and I appreciate all specificities that you have. Putting that in a more modern aspect, for example, in 1798, Napoleon Bonaparte invaded Egypt, and which actually led to the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, and later on, without bloodshedding, when a new era in Egypt started, and that was the flourishing of economy and industry. And when he did that, he told that I did it in the name of Allah, and that is interesting. He talked in the language of the people to say that I'm one of you. Putting that even more, let's say, more protagonistic in another idea, when J.F. Kennedy in 1963, on June 1963, went to Berlin. He stood in front of the people from Berlin and he told, Ich bin ein Berliner, which means I'm a citizen of Berlin, I'm part of you, and made a sign to make a homogeneity between the people whose language he did not understand. So what is particular about this cylinder from this historical comparative point of view is that a king comes to another country, and even though he believes he has another thought, another belief, and maybe another language and another ethnicity, he claims to be the king of the newly conquered country without any hostility and animosity towards the languages and cultures of the country. And so maybe the idea that that Cyrus had is kind of differing from our modern perception of democracy, but this homogeneity that he created and lasted for 200 years, the stability, and reshaped the history of the Middle East for the next 200 years till Alexander shattered this dynasty, shows a huge balance of tolerance, multi-religiosity, multi-ethnicity, and multilinguality in the society. And may this idea of aspiration would be a pioneer for us and for the tumultuous situation now in the Middle East to sustain stability, peace, and freedom for all people. Thank you.
Our last professional speaker, before I wrap up, is Mr. Behnam Khalili. Bijan Khalili was born in Iran and received his Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Pahlavi in 1974. He moved to Los Angeles in 1980 and studied Persian literature at UCLA. In 1981, he co-founded the Kitab Corporation and is currently the president. The Kitab Corporation provides activities and services to the community interested in Persian culture, society, issues, and literature. The Kitab Corporation consists of the first Persian bookstore in the United States, the Iranian Yellow Pages, the Iranian Pocket Yellow Pages, and the 0808 Information Network, which contains the largest global database of businesses, residential facilities, and cultural information of Iranian all around the world. Additionally, Mr. Khalili is the publisher of Iran Shahr magazine and the Iran Shahr news agency online. Kitab Corporation is the recipient of the APPY Gold Award for Marketing Innovation and the APPY Bronze Award for Community Services. Before I request Mr. Khalili to come on stage, I just want to quickly point to another proof that how Cyrus the Great was so tolerant, way ahead of his time, this visionary leader and the leader of hearts, that even though he was born as a Zoroastrian, he lived as a Zoroastrian, and he passed away as a Zoroastrian, he respected all other gods. The only god he knew was Ahura Mazda, the god of Zarathustra, but he respected all other religion and faith. That's why his message after 2500 resonates in the 21st century, and it's going to be ever last, ever fresh, as long as humanity exists. Mr. Khalili, please.
درود بر شما خانم ها و آقایان و درود بر روان پاک کوروش بزرگ، پدر ایران. Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this glorious event. My speech will be in Persian because the Iranian companions right now in Iran watching us live. Therefore, my speech is going to be in Persian, but my speech, it will be about how Cyrus the Great conquered the Babylonia with no war due to different sources that we have. یک بار دیگر خانم ها آقایان با عرض سلام، روز جهانی کوروش بزرگ رو به همه تبریک میگم، شاد باش میگم و به همه کسانی که راه کوروش بزرگ رو میخواهند در زندگی ادامه بدهند یا اینکه فکر میکنند که این راه بهترین راه برای ادامه یک زندگی انسانی و شرافتمندانه، شادباش‌های منو در این زمینه بپذیرید. روز 29 اکتبر مصادف است با 7 آبان که این 7 آبان امروز در ایران بسیار گرامی داشته می شود و ایرانیان اگر 100 مانعی در راهشون نباشه می روند به پاسارگاد، می روند به جایی که به کوروش سلامی دوباره بگویند. و اهمیت این روز در این است که این روز رو ما به عنوان گشوده شدن بابل، این شهر عظیم، این شهر که در 2300 سال پیش از میلاد بنا شده، 1800 سال پیش از اینکه کوروش بزرگ ظهور کنه و یادمون باشه این بابلی که در دیروز در کتاب مقدس میشناسیم یا بابلی که در منشور کوروش میشناسیم، این بابل امروز فقط 50 مایل با بغداد فاصله داره. فقط 25 مایل با تیسفون پایتخت ساسانیان فاصله داشته. بنابراین این بابل بسیار پر اهمیت در تأسیس شاهنشاهی ایران، در تأسیس شاهنشاهی هخامنشی و امپراتوری ایران. به طوری که هرودوت میگوید که بابل به تنهایی 1/3 کل مالیات امپراتوری ایران رو پرداخت میکرده. بنابراین گشوده شدن بابل بسیار اهمیت داشته. ما 4 تا سورس، 4 تا منبع اصلی برای شناخت فتح بابل داریم. نخست رویدادنامه نبوونعیده که پادشاه بابل است، در پیش از کوروش به سلطنت میرسد و بعد از کوروش هم زندگی میکنه. این رویدادنامه بر عین منشور کوروش بر گل نوشته شده و تأکید میکنه که کوروش وارد بابل شده و بدون جنگ وارد شده. از سوی دیگر خود منشور کوروش در مورد فتح بابل در خط 17 این چنین میگوید: مردوک او را بدون جنگ و نبرد به درون بابل وارد کرد. او شهرش بابل را از سختی رهانید. او مردوک نبوونعید شاهی را که از او نمی هراسید در دست کوروش نهاد. این 2 تا منبع به زبان آکادی، همونجوری که دکتر دلشاد گفتن، در همان دوران کوروش بزرگ به ما رسیده است. 2 منبع دیگر ما سراغ داریم. یکی منابع یونانیه که پدر تاریخ هرودوت برای ما مطرح میکنه فتح بابل رو، و دیگری منابع یهودیه. در منبع هرودوتی هرودوت میگوید که سپاهیان کوروش، یعنی به دستور کوروش، سپاهیان کوروش در مدخل رودخانه فرات، آنجایی که رود به داخل بابل می رود، و در مقابل از آنجایی که رود از بابل خارج می شود، این انبوه لشکریان می ایستند. خود کوروش با بخشی از لشکریانش می رود و مسیر رودخانه فرات رو به دریاچه‌ای که در اون نزدیکی بوده مسیر رو منحرف میکنه با کانال هایی که میکشه و در نتیجه سطح آب پایین میاد و سربازان ایرانی میتوانند به داخل بردی و باروی بابل بروند و بدون اینکه جنگی بکنند بابل رو تسخیر بکنند. میرسیم به منابع یهودی. بیش از 20 جا در کتاب مقدس یهود اسم کوروش آورده شده و شرح در مورد کوروش نوشته شده. از کتاب پادشاهان، کتاب ارمیا، کتاب اشعیا، ولیکن اشاره مستقیمی به فتح بابل و چگونگی فتح بابل نشده، یا حداقل ما نمیدانیم که الان من میخواستم توضیح بدم که چرا هست. در کتاب یشعیا باب 45 آیه 1 من از ترجمه فاضلخانی براتون میخونم که البته متاسفانه یک اشتباهی داره و به منبع عبریش درست توجه نشده. اگر درست توجه شده بود ترجمه رو درست انجام میداد. خداوند به مسیح خویش یعنی به کوروش میگوید که دست راست او را گرفتم تا ملت‌های دیگر را در برابر او مغلوب سازم و کمرهای پادشاهان را بگشایم تا درها را بر روی او بگشایم و دروازه ها بسته نماند. من با سپاس از مرحوم فاضلخانی که در سال 1905 کتاب مقدس رو ترجمه کرده، فقط یک اشکال دارم و اونم اینه که میگه کمرهای پادشاهان را بگشایم. من بارها فکر کردم این به چه معنی است. بالاخره به سورس عبریش مراجعه کردم و دیدم که در سورس عبری میگوید که کمرها را شل کنم و کمر شل کردن بدین معنی است که در دوران قدیم همونجوری که میدونیم شمشیر رو در غلاف میکردن یا خنجر رو در غلاف میکردن و اگر کمر شل بشه به معنی این است که شخص خلع سلاح میشه و خلع سلاح شدن یعنی این که بدون جنگ یک کاری رو انجام دادن. در نتیجه هر 4 منبع ما یک موضوع رو مطرح میکنن و اونم اینه که کوروش بزرگ و سپاهیانش بابل رو فتح کردند و آنچه که من اسمشو مثل همه گذاشتم اخبار جعلی که علیه کوروش در اینترنت هست و میگوید که کوروشی وجود نداشته است که اگرم وجود داشته دیکتاتوری بیش نبوده است، دروغ محض است. دوستان کمیته میراث کوروش بزرگ سایروس هریتیج یک مجموعه ای از ایده ها و افکار کوروش بزرگ رو به صورت خوان کوروشی اینجا برای همه گذاشتن که امیدوارم که در سالهای آینده همه ما خوان کوروشی رو هم در منازلمون بگسترانیم هم در اندیشه‌هامون. خدا نگهدار.
سپاس از آقای بیژن خلیلی. من با اجازه کمیته برنامه‌ریزی برای هر کدوم از سخنرانان 10 دقیقه وقت گذاشته بودم که تشکر میکنم از همهشون، با سپاس که رعایت کردن. برای خودم آخر سر گذاشته بودم 2 ساعت چون ریش و قیچی دست خودم بود، ولی الان اوورتایم هستیم، وقت گذشته و سعی میکنم من 2 ساعتمو 1 ساعتم زیاده بکنم 2 دقیقه. حالا نمیدونم فارسی بگم، انگلیسی بگم، چه زبانی بگم، هر دوش بگم، وقت نداریم متاسفانه. ببخشید. آره انگلیسی. به فارسی میگم با اجازه. My apology to the English speaking guests here that we have some around us. خیلی خلاصه خیلی سریع میگم مطالبی است که من فکر میکنم همه ما فکر میکنیم که باید نسل‌های آینده ایرانیان باش آشنا بشن. واقعیت‌های تاریخیه. اشاره‌هایی بهش شد توسط دوستان دیگر و برنامه‌ای هم که رادیو 670 AM KYRN پخش کرد 1 ساعت قبل و هنوزم داره گویا پخش میشه به همین نکته اشاره کرد. ببینید در سال 1776 در 4 جولای یک کشور نوبنیادی به نام آمریکا تأسیس میشه. در اون زمان این کشور سند مالکیت نداشته، آیدنتیتی نداشته، فقط Declaration of Independence یعنی اعلام استقلال از بریتانیای فخیمه پدران بنیانگذار داده بودن. 11 سال طول میکشه. این یک دلیل تاریخی دیگه که چرا اینقدر طول میکشه. 11 سال طول میکشه تا پدران بنیانگذار اینجا به سرپرستی تاماس جفرسون البته که دبیر اصلی بوده سند مالکیت و شناسنامه آمریکا رو به وجود میارن به نام US Constitution. در ظرف این 11 سال یعنی از سال 1776 تا 1787 بعضی‌ها میگن صدها کتاب، بعضی‌ها میگن هزاران کتاب، من نمیدونم عدد دقیق چقدره، ولی تعداد بسیار زیادی کتاب رو پدران بنیانگذار آمریکا بررسی میکنن، مطالعه میکنن و از بین اونها 4 کتاب رو انتخاب میکنن. 4 کتاب. کتاب اول The Holy Bible, The New Testament. کتاب دوم کتابی است به نام The Republicanism از یک فیلسوف بزرگ ایتالیایی است که در حقیقت یکی از پایه‌گذاران رنسانس اروپا بوده و کانت، مونتسکیو و ولتر بزرگ شاگردای اون به حساب میان، به نام جان لاک. کتابی داره به نام ریپابلیکانیسم. هیچ ربطی به حزب دموکرات یا ریپابلیکن نداره، به معنای حکومت داری است. این کتاب دوم. سر کتاب سوم سالهای سال بحث بوده 2 کتاب انتخاب شده بوده از صدها یا شاید هم هزارها کتاب. یکیش سایروپدیا، زندگی نامه کوروش، و دیگریش The Prince، شاهزاده، کتابی از نیکولو ماکیاولی که اون هم یک فیلسوف بزرگ ایتالیایی بوده. بالاخره خلاصه کنم چون صحبت خیلی زیاده، وقت نداریم. بین این 2 کتاب پدران بنیانگذار آمریکا تصمیم میگیرن که زندگی نامه کوروش رو، سایروپدیا رو که زینفن نوشته بوده، زینفن یونانی، انتخاب بکنن و The Prince کتاب نیکولو ماکیاولی رو میذارن کنار. چرا؟ یک دلیل بسیار ساده. اگه شما هر 2 کتاب رو بخونید و من خواهش میکنم اگه وقت کردید اویلیبل هست، آدیو بوک هم هست، میتونید. خلاصه سایروپدیا یعنی زندگی نامه کوروش توسط زینفن در 2-3 کلمه خلاصه میشه گفت: حکومت داری بر اساس محبت. در حالی که The Prince کتاب نیکولو ماکیاولی یعنی مدرک و سند تاریخیه، اساسش هست حکومت داری بر اساس وحشت. یعنی پدران بنیانگذار آمریکا محبت، دوستی و عشق رو که کوروش ما 2300 سال قبل از اونها به دنیا و به انسانیت عرضه داده انتخاب میکنن. از همه شما سپاسگزارم.
خب یه نفس بکشین شما تا بقیه برنامه رو ببریم جلو. حضورتون عرض کنم که من همش از صحبت‌های خودم کم میکنم به دلیل اینکه وقت نداریم. ضمناً نمایشنامه کوروش قرار اجرا بشه، جناب دکتر شاداب با تیمشون این کار رو انجام میدن. منتها بعد از برنامه به شما خواهیم گفت، خواهش خواهم کرد ازتون که تشریف ببرید بیرون، اونجا برای پرده برداری از مجسمه کوروش. به هر حال سپاسگزار از جناب دکتر خسرو مهرفر که کمک کردن و ما تا اینجا برنامه رو پیش بردیم و ازتون خواهش میکنم آماده باشین برای دیدن نمایشنامه یه بخشی از زندگی و کوروش و احترامی که برای زن قائل هست و این بخشش بسیار مهمه که با سپاس از جناب دکتر شادان که این قسمت رو برای ما آماده کردن. از دوستان قسمت فنی خواهش میکنم برای اینکه صحنه باید چیده بشه، اون کاری رو که قرار اسلاید موزیک هست بسیار زیبا که آقای رامین برزگر، تمام اسلایدهایی که شما میبینید، تمام تصاویری که میبینید همش کار ایشونه. ایشون 6 ماه در تخت جمشید شبها حتی خوابیده تا تونسته این تصاویر رو تهیه بکنه و خیلی از خیلی از تصاویر هست که شما جای دیگه شاید نبینید یا توجه نکرده باشید. اینها همه بکر اینجا میبینید. نورپردازیش چنان زیباست که رامین برزگر یونسکو بین تعداد بسیار زیادی که کاراشون رو عرضه کرده بودن اول شده و جایزه گرفته. به هر حال خواهش میکنم باز یک نمونه از کارهای رامین رو ببینین تا صحنه آماده بشه برای بخش کوروش. خواهش میکنم.
I am CYRUS, the Persian. I am the father of Persia and the founder of the Persian Empire, ruling half the ancient world with tolerance, love, and prosperity for all mankind. My Persian Empire encompassed 36 different nations, each with their own unique cultures, languages, ethnicities, customs, and religions, and was an all-inclusive, all-encompassing government, creating peace and prosperity for more than 2 centuries under my leadership. Many of you may not have heard of me, but the founding fathers of this great nation knew very well of me. In fact, close to 1/3 of the US Constitution, authored mainly by Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, James Madison, and many great leaders, was not only inspired by my way of life and my leadership, but they actually implemented my way of governance in the governing of this vast nation. The pillar of those principles which I brought to humanity 2,500 years ago are still valid today in the 21st century. In fact, I believe now more than ever that they will never go away. They will be everlasting and ever fresh for one simple reason. They are deeply rooted in humanity, and as long as humanity exists, my principles which belong to all mankind will continue to exist and last forever. The proof of those principles is in the first Declaration of Human Rights, which I ordered to be written 2,500 years ago in cuneiform writing on the original clay tablet, which now resides in the British Museum and has replicas in many cities all over the world, including one atop the entrance to the Hall of Nations at the United Nations, where 193 different nations and security councils meet. I too had a Hall of Nations, the remains of which are in Persepolis, in Shiraz, Iran, where I would listen to the people from the countries under my empire, and I would help those who needed it. When I ruled my vast empire, I did not know that a century after I am gone, a Greek historian by the name of Xenophon would be so inspired by the way I ruled the world with love, affection, and the power of persuasion that he would write a book about me through the art of leadership. He wrote this 24 centuries ago and called it Cyropedia. In the Middle Ages, it was translated from Greek to Latin, then 24 other languages. The great Thomas Jefferson had 2 original copies, and on his deathbed gave one to his grandson for him to consult with whenever he needed help. When I ruled my vast Persian empire, I didn't know that 22 centuries after I am gone, Cyropedia would be taught to the generals at West Point, not for the purpose of making war, but for creating peace through the art of leadership. I did not know that one day my principles would be included in the US Constitution for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But when I ruled my vast Persian empire 25 centuries ago, I knew that the Persian dynasty of Achaemenid that I established was mortal, and that I too am also mortal. Even the great Persian empire, spanning from India to the east, to Libya in the west, and from the Persian Gulf in the south to the great flats of Siberia in the north, would one day come to an end. But I knew that my messages of love, tolerance, peace, and prosperity for all mankind is immortal and will last forever. Many of you may not know this, but because of my essence of my belief, my Persian way of life, and the good deeds that I employed, I am referred to multiple times in the holy book of the Old Testament as the Messiah or the liberator of Jewish people. I did not know that one day US presidents, regardless of their administrations or political inclinations, would celebrate Nowruz in the White House and send messages of Nowruz all over the nation. And you, dear fellow human, do good for the sole sake of goodness alone, and not for any expectation of a reward in this life or any life beyond. This will make you immortal. May Ahura Mazda, the God that I believe in and worship, and any God that you believe in and I respect, bless you and your loved ones, and may God help you to help those in need and spread messages of love to all mankind. I love you all.
دوستان عزیز، امیدوارم که خوشتون اومده باشه. خواهش میکنم، ممنونتونم. به هر حال همه ما همونطور که گفته شد در سخنرانی ها و منم کارهای خودم و حرفای خودم رو حذف کردم، فقط اینو میخوام بگم ما 3 عامل اتحاد و همبستگی داریم: کوروش، نوروز و شاهنامه. ما تمام کوششمون رو باید بکنیم که این 3 عامل وحدت رو حفظ بکنیم. باور کنید از روزی که جناب آبادیان به من پیشنهاد کردن و خانم شعله شمس به من پیشنهاد کردن که همکاری داشته باشم، باور کنید که اصلا چشم بسته گفتم قبول در این مسیر. من باور کنید در هر لحظه‌ای که جلسه داشتیم رفتم، برنامه چیدم، هر کاری کردم در خلوت خودم، من باور کنید که اشک ریختم و با اشک خودم این درخت تناور رو مقداری آبیاری کردم و میدونم همه شما این احساس رو دارید. ایران اگر نبود که اینا نبودن هیچ کدوم. قربون شما هم نشستین ایراد میگیرین از من. ایران اگر نباشه که اینا نیست هیچ کدومش. ما داریم این عواملی که در ایران و حفظ ایران و جاودانگی ایران هستن، داریم اینها رو در موردش صحبت میکنیم. خواهش میکنم. و 1-2 تا اعتراضم بود الان، چون قرار است تشریف ببرید بیرون. 1-2 تا اعتراض بود که ما آمدیم اینجا ایرانی هستیم، محیط ایرانیه، چرا انگلیسی صحبت میشه؟ ما در امریکا هستیم، محیط ایرانیه، ولی در امریکا هستیم و من قرار نبوده اینو بگم ولی این رو میگم، قراره که با دیدن یک چنین حرکاتی امیدوار باشیم که روز 29 اکتبر رو به نام کوروش به رسمیت بشناسن و اینا هست که بایستی به عنوان نمونه ارائه بشه تا اون کار انجام بشه. پس بنابراین اون رو هم به ما ببخشید. تشکر میکنم. تشریف ببرید بیرون برای پرده برداری از مجسمه کوروش کبیر.
می‌رسیم به کوروش بزرگ، کسی که ایرانیان او را پدر، یونانیان او را پرور و بنیانگذار و یهودیان او را مسیح و منجی نامیدند. پادشاه دادگستری که بر اساس باورهای دین زرتشت و بر اساس اصل اندیشه نیک، گفتار نیک و کردار نیک پرورش یافت، زندگی کرد و فرمانروایی کرد. و اینجا به جاست که بندهایی از گاوتهایش زرتشت که در رابطه با فرمانروایی نیک هست خدمتتون ترجمهش رو بخوانم. به نام خداوند بخشنده مهربان، ای آلمایتی، ای مظهر ایمان و دلدادگی، بشود که شهریاران دادگر و با ایمان که دارای رفتاری نیکو و دانش و خرد راهنمای آنها بر ما فرمانروایی کنند و نه شهریاران بد. حاطب 48 بند 5. و در جای دیگر در رابطه با خصوصیات سودرسانندگان اینطور بیان می‌فرماید: به راستی سوشیانت‌ها و رهانندگان کشورها از دانش و بینش برخوردار بوده و وظیفه خود را با الهام از منش پاک انجام خواهند داد. آنها کردارشان از راستی و پاکی سرچشمه گرفته و رفتارشان با آموزش‌های پیمردا هماهنگی دارد. آنان به راستی از بین برندگان خشم و نفرت و پدید آورندگان مهر و آشتی میباشند. حاطب 48 بگاهان بند 12. شهریاری و قدرت کسی را سزاست و ما آن را برای کسی خواستاریم که آن قدرت را در راه خدا و در راه بهترین راستی به کار برد.
حضورتون عرض کنم که الان ما آخرین قسمت برنامه امروز رو تقدیم حضورتون میکنیم که پرده برداری از مجسمه کوروش هست. از سرکار خانم میترا زرتشتی خواهش میکنم از جناب آقای آبادیان تشریف بیارن اینجا. فرمان دادم که کالبدم را بدون تابوت و مومیایی به خاک بسپارند تا ذرات وجودم قسمتی از خاک میهن را تشکیل دهد. انجام بشه.
Not only this ancient king of kings as the founder of a vast Persian empire and a brilliant leader, but also as a benevolent ruler known best for granting progressive freedom to its subjects and being revered as wise and tolerant. As King Cyrus conquered nations, he employed a system of self-management, allowing his new subjects to keep their customs and religion. He made a point that his rule respected the basic human rights of common man more than any other ruler of his time. Even though he was born and ruled more than 2,500 years ago, many world leaders, both past and present, still claim Cyrus as their primary inspiration. Many people are to thank for bringing this statue to you. The design, the closest image of King Cyrus, the world has yet to see, is based on the devotion of the late Mr. Behnam, 40 years study and research of this great Persian king. The statue itself was sculpted by Christopher Dargo, with renowned actor and artist. Today, as a CEO of Saxton Industrial Inc. and manufacturer and owner of this project, I have the honor of dedicating the first full-size 6'10" bronze cast statue to California's Zoroastrian Cultural Center of Los Angeles. Thank you
خیلی متشکرم. به هر حال سپاس از یکایک این دوستان. امیدوارم همگی پایدار باشید.
واقعا باعث افتخار برنامه امروز برای اینکه پیام کوروش بزرگ که امپراتوری هخامنشیان رو اصلا در ایران درست کرد، he is the founder of the Persian Empire، پیامش رو به دنیا برسونیم.
ارج می نهیم، قدر میگذاریم، چرا که پیام‌های انسانی این رهبر انسان‌ها، رهبر دل‌های انسان‌ها بعد از 2500 سال در قرن 21 بیشتر و بیشتر معنی پیدا کرده که خلاصش در عشق و محبت و دوستی و بهسازی جهان و کمک به هم نوعان بشر خلاصه میشه.
امیدواریم که بتونیم این برنامه رو به صورت کشوری و به صورت جهانی در بیاریم و بتونیم این مجسمه ها رو در نقاط مختلفی از دنیا پایه‌گذاری کنیم که نشون بدیم اولین کسی که واقعاً قدرت فکری اینو داشت که نشون بده همه مردم یکی هستن، همبستگی، یگانگی باید سرمشق تمام ممالک مختلف باشه.
به راستی تونست که آزادی و آزادگی و آزادمنشی رو در تمام پهنه کشورهایی که در تحت سرپرستی اون شاه نازنینمون بود کوروش عزیز نموداری باشه که دوباره یادمون بیاد که ما چه تمدنی داشتیم، چه تاریخی داشتیم و هنوز هم هممون میتونیم راهی کوروش که برای تمام ملت‌های دنیا خودش بارها و بارها گفته و سروده هاشو داریم، گفتارشو داریم، کتیبهشو داریم که به چه زیبایی به همه خوش آمد میگفت و همه رو دوست میداشت و میگفت هممون یکسان هستیم برای اینکه بتونیم بهترین راههای زندگی رو هممون در پیش داشته باشیم.
و امیدوار هستم که این بزرگ داشت نمادی باشه و نشانه‌ای باشه برای صلح جهانی.
کوروش شاید اولین کسیه در تاریخ بشر که یک چارتر حقوق بشر رو مطرح کرده و در این چارتر حقوق بشر بسیاری مطالبی رو گفته که شاید امروز هم برای بعضی از ملت‌ها هنوز جزء رویاهاست. برای مثال گسترش صلح و آشتی، رواداری، از همه چی مهمتر که نکته مهمترین بخش منشور کوروش بزرگ در مورد رواداریه که ما بتونیم دیگران رو تحمل کنیم و اجازه بدیم بقیه هم زندگی بکنن، حتی اگر فکرشون با ما متفاوته، حتی اگر دگراندیشن. و ارزش کوروش در همینه. یعنی ما باید غیر از خود کوروش که اهمیت داره برای ما، راه کوروش بیشتر از اون اهمیت داره. و خوشبختانه الان این خوان کوروشی رو که شما در ورودیه این ساختمان میبینید که گذاشته شده، این نشان میده که چه اهمیتی داره راه کوروشی. راه کوروشی راهی است که زندگی انسانی تر رو به ما در جهان ارزانی میداره.
من عاشق کوروشم. حالا کوروش هر چی میخواد باشه، اون سمبل که وحدت و اتحاد هموطنای ایرانیمون رو تأمین میکنه، بیمه میکنه، کوروش، نوروز و شاهنامه، اینها رو من براشون احترام قائلم و براشون ارزش قائلم. و حتی اگر یک چوب رو هم امروز بگن این کوروشه و اون وحدت و اتحاد رو ایجاد میکنه، باز من به اون چوبم احترام میذارم. به هر تقدیر ما هیچی نداریم از هویتمون، هیچی جز کوروش و نوروز و شاهنامه نداریم و اینه که بایستی برای بزرگ داشتش هر کاری از دستمون برمیاد بکنیم.
انگیزه من برای درست کردن این مجسمه رساندن پیام این بزرگمرد تاریخ به جهان و این انگیزه رو با کمک آقای روانشاد، آقای نیک امینیسام که چندین سال پیش آمدن به دفتر من و با هم صحبت کردیم و ورژن‌های مختلف این مجسمه رو با طراحی ایشان که مدت 40 سال در این کار زحمت کشیده به ثمر رسوندیم و ورژن‌های کوچکش رو درست کردیم و ایشون آرزوش این بودش که مجسمه بزرگش رو بتونیم یه روزی در مرکز زرتشتیان برپا بکنیم و من تلاش کردم و با کمک بسیاری از دوستان تونستم این کار رو انجام بدم و امروز باعث افتخار منه که روز جهانی کوروش رو، این جشن رو با افتتاح این مجسمه آغاز بکنیم.